So, you know how people call the passenger seat the shotgun seat?
Yeah.
Well, I recently learned the names for the rest of the seats in a car. The two back seats are referred to as left nut, right nut, respectively. The middle seat has two names. One is significantly better than the other. One of them is the hurt locker, which, is fine
That makes sense.
because it's uncomfortable, I guess, whatever. The other is Lucky Pierre.
What the heck? Why is it called Lucky Pierre?
It didn't make sense to me at first either. But, alright, I'm gonna paint a picture. Imagine Pierre as a small, perverted French man who always wanted to sit in the middle seat every time he gets in a car so that he can be touching as many people as possible at all times. He just puts his hands on the thighs of the people on either side of him and he just goes, "Oh, lucky Pierre." Oh, welcome to Internet Content with the boys. This is Internet Content. I'm Jake, that's Landon, and we're the boys. If you've ever seen anything on the internet, that was us. Unless, of course, you didn't like it or it was problematic. Then that was somebody else. We've got a packed episode this time. We are going to draft 5 gods each and have a 5v5 battle that may have slightly different criteria than you might expect. After that, we're going to have an all-out tournament of the gods to determine who is the true king of the gods. But before any of that, there's an insane number of gods. So we're just going to narrow them down to Greek, Norse, and Egyptian mythology. More specifically, down to a list that we made. Starting off that list, we're going Greek. We're starting with Zeus, god of the sky, king of Olympus. Then Poseidon, god of the sea, and god of horses.
Horses?
Yeah, he's the god of horses. He also was the one that made Pegasi. Like they are a creation of Poseidon.
Okay.
And we got Hades, god of the underworld, Hermes, god of wealth, trade, thieves, and travelers, commonly known to be fast as fuck, boy.
I
And we
usually
got
like his
Apollo,
boots that he gives us in God
yee,
of
he
War.
be
They're quite
flying.
handy.
And we got Apollo, god of healing, archery, music, poetry, art, dance, plague, and knowledge. So I guess you can blame him for COVID.
What the heck does art and plagues have to do with each other?
And archery. It doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
dance
And
my
healing.
sorrows away.
Then there's Ares, god of war. Dionysus, god of the grape harvest, winemaking and wine, ritual madness, and
Everything fun.
religious ecstasy. We got Hephaestus, god of fire, metalworking, stonemasonry, forges, and sculpture. Gets to pipe Aphrodite, but is in fact a cuck.
Poor guy.
And speaking of Aphrodite, she is the goddess of love, sex, and beauty. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's canon to the original mythology, but I know at least in Percy Jackson, she can just straight up, she just takes the form of whatever you find the most attractive.
Well, that seems handy and hard to portray in a visual medium.
Yeah. Then we got Hera, Zeus's sister and wife, queen of Olympus, god of women, family and marriage, also probably goddess of incest.
I could see that. What is up with the Greek
We
people
got a
and doing their siblings?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just one of those things like
Just
you
there's
gotta keep the
nobody
bloodline fresh.
around.
I mean, I guess you know how when monarchies were a thing, there was a lot of
Mm,
incest because they wanted a clean
gotta keep the
bloodline or
bloodline
whatever.
pure. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare. Next, we got Artemis, goddess of the hunt and animals. Demeter, goddess of agriculture, harvest, and fertility of the earth. She controlled the 4 seasons.
She gets really sad that
Hestia,
one time. And it was like,
indeed.
oh, winter for a bunch of years. Woo!
And we got Hestia, canonically a loser virgin, goddess of the goddess of the hearth, home, domesticity, and chastity. Then we got Eros, the literal opposite, the god of sexual desire, attraction, love, and procreation. And we got Helios, god of the sun, commonly known for being Kratos' flashlight.
He works pretty well.
He does too well, one might say.
Doesn't it like melt people? Kinda. Is he just bright enough to stun people in their tracks?
Then we got Persephone. She's the goddess of
Persephone.
vegetation, and she's the spring queen of the underworld. Only in the spring, though.
She's MILF material in Hades, that's for sure.
100%. You got Heracles, not Hercules. If you pronounce it Hercules, fuck you, it's Heracles. After his death, he was made the god of strength, heroes, sports, athletics, agriculture, fertility, oracles, and was made the divine protector of mankind. And I want to say canonically, as far as like physical strength, like he could bench press more than any other god. I want to say that's canon,
There's that one
but I'm
guy
not
that can like
100% sure.
lift up the world.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Atlas. I don't think he's a god, but I don't know how he would be able to hold the
He's
world if.
just very strong.
um, and the last one we have for Greek mythology is Chaos, the
Ooh,
nothingness
chouse.
that all else sprung from. She created the Titans. And next we're gonna hop over to Norse mythology.
Ooh, Norse
First on the
mythology.
list,
It's Kratos.
first on the list
No.
is Odin. All father of the Aesir, king of Asgard. Then we have Freya, goddess of fate, love, beauty, gold, and fertility. Then we have Frigg, goddess of marriage, family, and motherhood. She's Odin's wife, and it's really ambiguous whether or not Freya and Frigg are the same person or not.
They're probably the same person. We're just not
Yeah,
100%.
like there were never any stories, I don't believe, where they were portrayed as two separate people in the same story,
Yeah,
but it's just in different stories
they just
like
have different
they just
names.
swap around names. Yeah, because sometimes Freya is Odin's wife and sometimes it's Frigg, and then like they're gods of very similar things, so it's just very ambiguous. Next, we got Thor. He's the god of thunder, and much like Hercules, he is the protector of humanity. I said Hercules. Damn it. I'm gonna fuck myself now.
Go fuck yourself. The
Then we
god of
got Loki.
drinking mead.
Indeed.
Dude, it'd be awesome to go drinking with Thor.
Drink mead by the keg.
He'd probably
just
have
for
us
every
both beat combined like 30-fold.
just for every bottle we would drink, he would just drink a full keg.
Yeah,
Next, we got Loki, the god of mischief, master of turning into animals to get laid.
he does like doing animals a lot and having children with them.
He does. Yeah,
Like
it's a whole
with
thing.
that horse and those wolves
Then we
and a
got
snake.
Balder. Then we got Balder. This one is interesting. He's the god of light and purity, described as fair, kind, and handsome, but in some depictions is a little bitch who complains about not feeling pain but still gets his neck snapped like the little bitch he is, promptly beginning Ragnarok.
Do you get when it says fair? It means like how they talked about Snow White being fair. He was just very,
Mhm,
very pale and had pure like white, clean skin.
mhm. Yeah, like everybody, like Balder is like the most attractive Norse god. Like he's just supposed to be hot as
Everybody
fuck.
loves him. Everybody loves him because he's just such a pure
Mhm.
being.
Which is so weird because when I think of Boulder, I think of God of War Boulder, and
Yeah.
he's just a little like he's just an ass. Like
Oh, I don't like not being able to feel this cold no more, mother.
next up we got Freyr, the god of fertility, symbol of prosperity and pleasant weather. Next we got Tyr, he's the god of war and justice.
He's also the god of getting his arms bit off by wolves, if you didn't know. He
Yes.
does get both of his arms bitten off by wolves at different times, one of them being during Ragnarok.
Next, we got Heimdall. He's the god of surveillance. He's the watchman of the Aesir. Next, we got Hel, the goddess of the underworld, Helheim, and daughter of Boy and Agrabah.
Boy.
Now we got Sif, wife of Thor, goddess of wheat, earth, harvest, and family.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Next,
because Thor likes to drink a lot, so she
hmm
helps produce the things that he likes to drink a lot of.
yeah. If she was the goddess of honey, that would just
Ooh,
make it
mead.
so much better. Mead, yeah. Then we got Njord, god of god of wind and the sea. In my head, I was reading wine, but
Yeah, it happens.
Then we got Vidar, god of vengeance. His power matched by only that of Thor, canonically. I think that's also the same thing I said about Heracles, the just physical strength. Like Njord
Yeah,
and
Thor's
Thor can
strong.
bench press the most.
Like
Yeah.
I know that the Marvel stuff, he's got to be worthy of his hammer, but in actual Norse mythology, it's just really freaking heavy.
And then I think he doesn't he is this in Norse mythology or is this only in Marvel? He has that belt. You know what I'm
It's
talking about?
in Norse mythology, the belt that just like doubles his strength.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that would have been a great power up in God of War.
It really would. That would be so cool. And then we got Vali, who is also the god of vengeance. He was born for the sole purpose of seeking vengeance upon Loki for the murder of Balder.
Yeah, everybody was so mad that Loki was like, "Hey Balder, look at this uh spear with mistletoe," and then he just died. I think it's like he gave it to Balder's brother who was blind. It was like, "Hey, everyone's having fun here at this party. Why don't you go throw
Mm,
this spear?" And he told him where to aim it, and then he threw it straight through Balder's chest, and Balder just
yeah.
died right there. After they united all of the realms and everyone in them to come to an agreement to not want to hurt Balder because they loved him so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Loki.
Yeah, and to Loki it was just like, I'm gonna do a little mischief right here.
Yep, yep.
Murder a guy. Next we got Idun, I think is how you pronounce it.
Idun, the apple
Goddess,
lady.
yeah, goddess of golden apples and youth. Low key gives my boy Kratos more max health.
Yeah, people eating those apples, it gives them eternal life. That's how the
hmm
Aesir gods stay young.
Then we got Ullr, god of winter, hunting, and hand-to-hand combat. Then we got Mimir, guardian of the well of knowledge. The Aesir god sent to Vanir to repair relationship. Beheaded by the Vanir, Odin carries his head around.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was like just a head in some like OG Norse mythology. I thought that was just a thing in God of War. Like
Mimir's
it's
awesome.
cool that he's just a head and yeah, it's cool how they translate it, like the adaptation and the different ways that they
hmm
kind of bring it all together. Then we got the last god of in the Norse pantheon, Kvasir, god of peace, wisdom, mead, and entertainment.
And traveling
Counselor
to
of the
other
Vanir.
PlayStation titles to write poems
Mm,
about them, like Astro and
yeah,
Jin.
yeah. He's the counselor of the Vanir and known as the wisest of the gods. I think in oh yeah, he is the god of wisdom. I was about to say I think in some iterations he's the god of wisdom, but I
Mm.
already said that. And now we have Egyptian.
I know very little
I
about
think
these.
mhm. That's why when I was researching stuff, I kind of put a little more of the story of it into here. There's a lot of Egyptian gods that are like, is that the same person? Is that so? We'll yeah, like even more so than like Frigg and Freya. Like it's all jumbled up. First, we got Osiris, the original pharaoh of the gods. He's the god of the underworld, death, resurrection, and the cycle of floods in the Nile. Then we have Isis, who is the god of the Nile, wife of Osiris. She also concerned with the rights of the dead, Rites. I think that just means where your soul goes when you die.
No, I
She's the
think
one that
it's like
determines
what
that.
hand you write stuff down with on a piece of paper.
uh, you know what? That's probably it. Then we got Set. He became pharaoh after killing his brother Osiris. He's the god of war, chaos, and storm. Then we have Ra slash Horus. They're often conflated with each other. So it's kind of like the same thing as friggin' Freya, where they're pretty much the same person. So Ra or Horus were either one. Challenged Set and won, so he became the pharaoh. He's god of the skies, the sun, war, and hunting. He embodied divine kingship. So he's like the good guy god, where Set was the bad guy, I guess. Then we got Anubis, god of the dead and embalming. Then we got Thoth, whose name is just really fun to say. Thoth, god of writing and wisdom. This one is actual writing with your hands, so there you
Okay.
go. Then we got Bastet, originally a vengeful lioness, but evolved into the goddess of pleasure.
Ooh, tasty.
Then we have Amun, god of the air, sun, and sky, later combined with Ra to create Amun Ra, which that gets more confusing because Ra and Horus are the same person, but now there's Amun Ra.
Among Gus?
The sussiest of gods.
Indeed.
Then we got Nephthys, goddess of the night, morning. Morning as in like mourning a dead, not like morning in the night, which is confusing because she's the
Because it's
goddess
the
of the
night.
night, but she's god of morning, but it's the other morning. She's also god of childbirth, rivers, and home. Then we have Sekhmet, the goddess of
Suckma.
destruction and pestilence. Then we have Sobek, the crocodile
So back
god.
these nuts.
The Nile consisted of his tears,
Oh,
and
that's a lot of tears.
and and he breastfed two crocodiles at the same time in a hieroglyphic, which is just dope as fuck.
That is pretty dope. I wish I could do
Just
that.
breastfeeding crocodiles. Then we have Mat, goddess of harmony and balance.
And boxing and
Then we
Wii
got
Sports.
spoiler alert for next episode. Then we got Ta, god of creation and truth, literally created the universe. Then we have Geb, god of the earth. Then we got Tefnut, goddess of moisture, commonly associated with your fucking mom, dude.
Got him.
We got Bess, god of dwarves, protector of households, mothers, and children. Canonically, ugly enough to scare away literal demons. We got Shu, goddess of the air, literally like separated the sky from the earth. Like she took her hands and ripped the earth apart from the sky, and that's why they're separated.
Okay, that's cool. Glad that I know how we have nighttime now.
Then we got Knum, the creator god, formed people from clay like a potter.
Mr.
And then we got
Potter.
Atum, also kind of the same person as Ra and Horus,
Okay,
is
another
Atum.
one.
Sometimes referred to as Ra Atum, even though Amun Ra is also a thing. These four gods are all retcons of each other, Lamau. No wonder why they didn't have a messenger god. Because everyone was just confused all the time. Then we got
They didn't
Khonshu.
know how to write stuff down.
They did not. We got Khonshu, who's the god of the moon, is basically addicted to gambling. Gets bonus cool points because of Moon Knight.
That was pretty cool.
Now, the last one on the list is Khepri, the
Capri
god of
Sun?
rebirth and yes, exactly.
The
The
god
god
of
of
Capri
Capri
Suns.
Suns,
Awesome.
rebirth and eternal life. Now, with that list down, may the draft commence.
Oh,
How did we say we were gonna determine who picks first?
we were gonna do rock, paper, scissors. Because I remember initially you said that you were just gonna let me pick, but we talked a little bit more
Well,
and chose something
yeah,
different.
yeah. Okay, so first of I was gonna let you pick first because I was gonna assume that you were gonna pick Dionysus and I was gonna go a different route, but then we just kind of both agreed that we just weren't gonna pick Dionysus because he's too OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dionysus would be the first pick no matter what, but he's too OP, so we're not gonna pick him. I was gonna say we could flip a coin because of my John Wick coin,
Yeah.
but do rock paper scissors. That would probably be a little
Here.
better. All
Hey
right,
Jake, do you watch anime? Yeah,
tie.
tie. Yeah, I got one.
Okay, so we're doing best out of three.
Yeah, it's best out of three. Ooh, okay, we're 1 to
Yeah.
1, and you win. Oh, it's 3 out of 5. Damn it.
Boom.
Okay, you pick
Okay, I'm
first.
going first.
I just got smoked.
All right, so what I have first on my list might be one that I can get in the second or third round because it might not be one that you might pick first. But at the same time, I really want my first pick, and I so tough.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I've got
So
some good ones that I really want.
yeah, no, me too. I've got a good handful. I'm just gonna go with who I have first on my list. The first one on my list actually is Kvasir.
God damn it! Fuck!
No, you got
God
that.
damn it! I was the one I wanted to pick first. God, he'd bring some banger tunes and mead.
So glad I got that one.
Man!
He's also the god of entertainment.
Oh, I know. He would have been the best person to have at a party.
Yes. And which really, even if he was just the god of mead, that's really like the borderline. All I'm looking for with this pick, you need an alcohol god. It is a
Yeah.
necessity.
Well, my first pick isn't quite an alcohol god, but
Yeah.
I don't think they would have that big of a problem.
Mm.
Chaos literally
Oh.
can create the room to party.
That is true. Wait, but how fun would chaos be? Like if you're at a party and you just see like a floating void over in the corner, like
It's okay. He
would
brought drinks.
I guess that is true. If he is the father
he's
or
he's
mother, if
literally the life of the party.
because yeah, I guess he can just spawn anything.
Yeah, you want
Just out of,
a
yeah,
Helios
I guess
disco
yeah.
ball?
That
Boom! You
is
can have
true.
7 of them.
That is true. Yeah, basically Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, they don't even have to like obey physics. They can just be floating in the air, spinning around.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for the next episode with Dr. Manhattan.
I wonder if they'll see the correlation.
All right, for my second pick, I'm gonna have to go Apollo.
Can you
He
go fuck
is.
yourself?
Are you serious? That was
I need more.
yours?
I need more. I need music in this place. I can't just rely on the one guy who knows everything to do it. I gotta get a specialized person here.
Yeah, I mean the god of music. He's also the god of healing. All right, alcohol is poison. So if you get too drunk, he can just heal you a little bit. So you can just constantly be in the ideal state of drunkenness. And he's not just the god of music; he's the god of dance too.
Yeah,
So like, if you got too many white people at your party who can't dance, he can just snap his fingers, boom, everyone
everybody can
can dance.
dance. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, it's all good.
okay. Okay. For my second pick, I'm going to pick Balder.
I just realized that we've been doing this whole draft, but we never explained the criteria.
Oh yeah, it's just who would be
Yeah,
like the best person to have at a party.
yeah,
Who's gonna
I,
bring the
I,
best
I,
time?
yeah, I apologize. We're bad podcasters. We teased it at the beginning and never explained it. That's on me.
It's okay.
But
We'll get
yeah,
better.
yeah, we're drafting who would be the best at a party. So was it your pick, Landon?
So my second pick is going to be Balder. Because, like,
Oh,
who doesn't like Balder? E-
that's a good pick.
Everybody
He
loves
wasn't even on my
Balder.
board.
Everybody loves Balder except Loki, who thought it'd be funny to kill him. After
Mhm.
everyone came into an agreement to not kill him, they then like made a new god just to go get him back from the dead so he could be around more. So he'd attract a pretty good crowd to my chaos-fueled party room.
Yeah, yeah. I have two different picks that could piggyback off of that really well. Like you could have a segue to either of those.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you are less likely to pick the other one, so I'm gonna go with Loki.
Okay. I do not
Be
have Loki.
Yeah, because
It's my
I
first
have
one
thought
that I haven't
I
had that you've picked.
I really want, yeah, no, Balder was the first one that you had that I didn't. I've thought about the Loki one for just far too long. Like I created an entire scenario in your head. So if you have a Loki at your party, who would not want to engage in a mild amount of tomfoolery?
Yeah, that's true.
So for instance, I'm gonna paint a picture for you, all right? If there happened, let's just say for the sake of argument, that there happened to be like a furry at the party, right?
Okay.
Just hey, Loki can just turn them into their fucking fursona, right? But there'd be a catch. Like, in order to change back, you gotta like hide Thor's mead from him and hope you survive, or like you gotta beat another god at their own game or something. Like swim faster than Poseidon or beat Hercules in an arm wrestling match. Or
I could do it.
create more universes than chaos. Like Loki would be so fun at a party because he would just come up with these random ass things where it's like just a mild amount of tomfoolery at a party is always a good experience.
Yeah. For my third pick, I didn't realize at first that this would have been covered by Apollo because that was going to be one of mine that you got.
Mhm.
But Idun, the Apple Lady, so that
Ooh,
way like people
yeah.
can drink their meads from foreign lands with each other in their chaos chamber and drink to their heart's content and never die.
Mhm.
They'll all stay very youthful. They'll feel better when they leave the party than when they got in.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So my next pick. What is this?
Is number 4.
Oh, okay. So it's just
We're
this
getting
one and one
close.
more.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I gotta.
Mm-hmm. 2 more.
Okay. I have the two that I want, but I also have backups. Wait, did you say you wanted to go over the honorable mentions afterwards?
Oh, I was just wanting to at least know what you picked, at least like after the recording,
Okay, yeah.
just
Or
to
I mean, we
see
can go over 'em.
how
Yeah, it doesn't
alike
matter.
they were.
All right. So I was contemplating taking this one for my first pick. So I'm really high on Aphrodite.
Okay, yeah. Can't
Because
go wrong
according
with
to
that.
Google, she's the personification of beauty, and her true appearance is actually unknown. But at least in the Percy Jackson universe, it was confirmed that her appearance would change to appeal to the person looking at her. So essentially, at my party, I would just see Haley Steinfeld standing there, you know.
I would see big booty clowns.
And everybody at the party, just because she's there, would just instantly become like a step higher on their horniness scale. Like everybody at the party would just be a little bit horny.
There are going to be a lot of accidental children
Whi-
produced at your party, Jake.
Which no, here's the thing, because mixing horniness with drunkenness just brings out the riz in everyone, which would be extremely entertaining to watch.
Loki going up to Aphrodite, trying to make up some
Yeah.
schemes. Okay, for my pick number 4, I'm going to choose Mimir because he tells
Ooh, that's
some
a good
mad
one.
stories. I would
That is a
love
good
to
one.
see Mimir so drunk off of some Greek wine
Yeah.
and just munching on some apples, telling some stories because he literally knows everything.
Mm,
Because the well or whatever that he got Odin
mm.
to throw his eyes into.
So I'm really glad with the picks I got. I didn't have to go with any of them that I didn't want.
Oh, I
All
did
right.
all of them. I have to go find another one real quick.
All right. So I got Bastet,
Mm.
the goddess of pleasure.
Okay.
You'd just be at the party, and there'd be just a big ass lioness creature hanging out, and her just being there makes everything you do the most pleasurable experience of your life.
That's fun. That's fun.
She's the goddess of pleasure. All
Well,
right.
for
Who
my
did you pick?
final pick, I'm glad you didn't pick him.
Yeah.
because I need some sexy times in my party too. But
I know who you're gonna
Eros,
pick now. Yeah, yeah.
you
The
flooded me out of most of my picks. The only one I had left was gonna be like a joke one. It's Prometheus's brother. It's like Epimetheus or something like that. Let's see.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah, Epimetheus, the god of hindsight, because he would be
uh,
funny to be around. He just sees someone like crash onto a table. Hey man, that wouldn't have been a good idea. You shouldn't have done that. But now everyone's just gonna be horny.
so I'm just gonna go over the rest of the four that I had on my draft board real quick. So if you had picked all the ones that I was thinking, I got Thor because he's
Yep.
just the quintessential frat boy. Yeah, he'd be the guy that would attempt to like dive across to the other side of the table while playing beer pong. You know,
Dude, he's the type
like
of guy that would do an enema, a beer enema.
he's the type of dude that would just be doing shoeies because he likes it. Then I got Poseidon because he just seems chill as fuck. He's an
Yeah,
absolute bro god.
dude,
Like
he's so good in
Poseidon for
Hades.
sure. Like Poseidon for sure smokes weed. Like
Oh, 100%. Dude, I
hundred
wonder
percent
what kind of weed they have underwater.
seaweed.
I don't, I, I don't think that's very good to smoke.
And then I have Sobek. I I don't know. I think it'd just be funny to have a guy breastfeeding crocodiles in the corner.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. I love breastfeeding
um,
crocodiles.
mm.
It's my favorite
and
pastime.
then this was my backup for Aphrodite. I have Eros,
Okay,
which
yeah. I was
that
gonna
was
pick
good thinking on your
Aphrodite.
feet. Uh,
Yeah,
that was
I
good
had no
thinking on
more
your feet,
picks other
Eros.
than that guy who's
Yeah.
not even a god because he's a titan.
All right. Well, who won the draft? Well, that's up for you guys to decide. For like the four people that might listen to it, let us know in the comments who won the draft. Now we can move on to the tournament.
The tournament of
So
the gods.
we are going to determine the 16 strongest gods. So first we gotta get the
Yeah, we
16
gotta
down,
pick them.
and then we can go. So let's start with Greek. I think
Greek
we're just doing
gods.
5
Yeah, we'll
per
do five
mythology.
from each pantheon.
Okay, so you can't not have the big three up there, right?
Dude,
So
yeah.
Zeus, Poseidon, Hades.
Zoo.
Okay.
Zoo's fine. I missed the S.
Zeus, Poseidon,
Poseidon. And
Hades.
Haders.
Now, the two that I was thinking of were Ares and Chaos.
I was gonna say chaos. I wanted chaos.
So we could go Ares for the last one, or we could go.
Huh. How good would Hermes go up against people, being able to run away at the speed of light almost? Or is that
Hmm.
Helios? Gosh, one of them goes at the speed of
No,
light.
it was Hermes. Yeah. Um. I mean, Hermes is the god of wealth, trade, and thieves. So like,
What
he's not
about
the god of.
Heracles? Is he not ripped as
Mm,
hell?
yeah, we could do that one. Yeah, he would be. Yeah, hand-to-hand combat would be
Hercules. It's just Hercules. That is five.
5 for Norse.
Thor.
We could
Like,
do yeah.
you can't not have Thor.
Are we gonna have Odin on
We
it?
probably should. He do be pretty powerful. The Norse gods don't seem to be as strong as the other ones.
The ones that are like higher up towards the top, like
Hmm.
Thor or whatever, they seem like they would be, but
What
it's just
about
that like the things.
Vidar? The one that
Yeah,
got
mm,
got Balder out of the dead.
yeah, that's the one that I was gonna say.
Isn't Freya queen of the Valkyries? Would she not be good at
Mm,
fighting?
yeah, yeah, we can do Freya because she is the queen of the Valkyries. That is a good point. I forgot about that. What's that for?
Dude,
Okay,
Heimdall,
we
he can
can.
see into the future.
But that's what I was gonna say. We could either do Heimdall, Loki, or Hel. Okay, dope. All right, now onto
The
Egyptian. You gotta put down the one guy that's the same as everybody else. Ra slash Horus slash Amon Ra slash / Ra Atum, because he the god of the skies, sun, war, and hunting, and the embodiment of divine
Oh, for
kingship.
the audio
You know,
listeners,
so he's
that was awful. For the audio listeners out there, his name is spelled Amun, and in parentheses Gus, and then it says Ra.
then I think
What about
we might
Anubis,
Anubis. What
the
was that the
god
god of
of
again?
death and embalming?
Yep, we could do that one.
What about the god of creation,
Oh,
Ptah?
that would be yeah, Ta, god of creation and truth. Literally. Oh, and truth. So like you can just manipulate the truth. Like whatever I say is now the truth. I would assume is what that would mean.
Like, it's true that gravity goes the other way.
Yeah, and then it would. So yeah. Sekhmet, the goddess of destruction and pestilence. I think that would be a good one.
With one more.
Let's fuck it. Let's go with Khonshu, just because he's in Moon
Khonshu,
Knight and he's
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Go to K or
god of
C.
the
I think it's a
moon,
C.
and like he can gamble his way out of. It's
Yeah,
Khonshu.
so I am just dumb.
Yeah, I mean
Back to
the
Z's.
spelling doesn't really matter considering that you've spelled things wrong for comedic purpose, so it's fine.
Yeah, a few of them. Some of them were not on purpose. Okay, and so that
All
was the
right.
5 for each pantheon. So we'll just
Mm,
have an honorable mention here
indeed.
of Kratos.
Kratos.
Oh, we
Kratos.
we said something about this. If he gets paired up with Zeus at the beginning, we're gonna have to make sure we
Well,
shuffle it.
we're gonna randomize it.
Yeah,
So
that's funny.
yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So we're just gonna go the left down and then the right down. All right.
Okay, Freya versus Hades. I do feel like
Ooh.
Hades would come out on top of this. He's quite powerful. He
I.
does have the ability to turn invisible.
Mm, but at the same time, like the Valkyries were stupid difficult to fight,
Yeah,
and the Hades boss fight was not that hard.
I
So I.
don't think that's comparable.
Yeah. No. I
Oh, it's
I
fun.
mean, Freya.
Freya do be cool, but she does not one-shot people like Hades one-shots me sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, if Hades died, he would just go back to his house.
Yeah, Freya
You
would be
know.
like, oh, gotta go get my armor again.
Yeah, I think Hades comes out on top. I
Okay,
really do.
okay. Hades, you're the winner of round
All
one.
right, Anubis
Anubis and
versus Odin.
Odin,
Ooh, the
the
god of
man
the
who is
dead.
afraid to die, and the one that will
Oh,
make him die.
mm,
Like, does Anubis just have
this
the power to
one,
be like, you're dead?
I believe he might, but then at the same time, like Odin is the king of the Aesir. Like he's the most powerful of any
Dude,
Norse god.
he got killed by a marble.
But he's the All Father. He's all knowing. Wouldn't he?
He does know
Well, no.
everything.
Mm, like, but even if coming into the fight, even if Odin knew just everything about Anubis, like he knew that Anubis could just be like, "Hey, you're dead." Like, what could he do to combat that? I don't
Exactly.
think he
Yeah.
could.
I don't know if there's many Norse artifacts that have the ability to combat Egyptian magic.
This one's kind of a shocker to me. I think I'm gonna go Anubis.
Yeah, that whole just
Yeah.
being able to say
Okay.
you die. Oh, dude, this next matchup's gonna be fire.
uh,
Okay, Among Us,
Among Us
Ra, and
versus Sekhmet.
Sukma.
So Sugma was the goddess of destruction and pestilence, and
Okay,
then Among Us was. Oh no, that was like the king of the gods. He's
he's the big in charge
like
man.
yeah, he's like the pharaoh. I don't know if this one is particularly close. I think it's got to be Amun Ra
I
because
would
I
imagine
mean,
so.
because I mean he beat Set, who was the god of war, chaos, and storm. You know, which I
Yeah,
feel like is pretty similar to Sekhmet, who's the goddess of destruction. So yeah, I think Amon. You on the
that
same
whole
page?
that whole being large and in
Mm,
charge of everyone.
yeah.
Okay.
Ta and Zeus.
So the
Ooh.
creator of all creation versus one lightningy
Oh.
boy that created
Oh.
the is Kronos the child of chaos?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Because Chaos
it's
created the
only one
Titans.
generation down.
Mhm.
I I don't know what Ta's like ability is. Like he just it's the truth. Yeah, you can just say yeah. I think
I think
Ta has
Ta
a
is,
trap card of being able to say no, that's not
man,
how
the
this
Egyptian
works.
gods are
They're
so
just they
OP.
really are.
Mm,
It's just not fair
man,
matchups at all.
taking out the king of the Norse gods and the king of the Greeks.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, yeah, Ta.
Okay. Now we have Heracles and Khonshu. Now, now picture this. Heracles just grabs onto Khonshu and pulls apart. What is gonna if can Khonshu fly? Because that's like the only thing I could think of to get him away.
The only way Khonshu could get out of a fight is if he challenges Heracles to gamble, and then Heracles loses whatever game they play. But if they're actually fighting to the death and they're bloodthirsty, I'm not sure if Khonshu could come out on top. Because I mean, the god of the moon, like, what does that get you in combat? You know what I mean?
Ooh, I
Like,
can make the waves go more.
yeah, yeah, think we gotta go Heracles.
Yep,
He's
yep.
just strong as fuck.
Okay. Kratos and Heimdall.
All right. Now, Kratos beats Heimdall in the game, but we can't use that because that's cheating.
Yeah, he was given special ability,
Hmm.
being Dropnir, to be able to beat Heimdall.
So,
And Heimdall
Kratos,
was a little bitch in that game. He was awesome, but he was a little
yeah.
bitch. I do think,
So,
in all actuality, Heimdall would win.
but I
Mainly because
mean,
we need Kratos to be out of here. Uh,
I think Heimdall is not particularly that like physically strong. His only thing is that he can see into the future, like he knows what attacks you're gonna do.
yeah, so he just
But
never get
if
hit.
if Kratos can manage to hit him once, he's out of there. Because Kratos is strong. I would probably say Kratos is stronger than
We
Heracles.
should
If
probably
Kratos can
Yeah,
flip
no,
the
Kratos
nine
is
realms.
stronger. He's definitely stronger than Heracles. Are
It's
we
the
talking God of War 3 Kratos or uh Ragnarok Kratos? I feel like we should make a
uh,
distinction.
any and all.
I don't
Because for
think
any for no for
they
any
have
of
very
these
different
we're kind of
abilities.
talking about
That is true.
any of their depictions.
Okay. Well,
Like
Kratos wins. Kratos wins and he'll probably win the next one. And he probably won't win the one
well,
after that.
yeah, no, I like there is kind of a cap on Kratos' power, but I think against
I mean,
Heimdall, I think
Kratos
he's got it.
Kratos
Because
is very strong. He did not only lift the nine realms, but he
he
threw
can
them.
throw it and flip it over, yeah.
He caught Helios,
Yeah.
which he can run at the speed of light because he's
Hmm.
the god of light. It's just his thing.
And the same thing with Apollo, was it?
I
With the
or it
speedy
was
boots?
I don't think he's as fast.
Hermes.
I think he like moves still absurdly fast, just not that fast.
Yeah. But still, if he was
Still,
able to
he's
do
as
that, then he
fast as
can
the
move
speed of
pretty quick.
light and can lift reality and throw it.
Hmm.
He do be pretty strong. So are we just gonna give
So
this one to Kratos because he's
yeah, because
overpowered?
I think if he can manage one hit on Heimdall, then Heimdall's done for.
Yeah, because this is
Even
Kratos trying to kill people, not Kratos
yeah,
not trying to kill people.
even if Kratos didn't have Draupnir.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Kratos wins.
Ooh, Poseidon
Poseidon
and
versus
Vidar.
Vidar. So Poseidon does
Hmm.
have control of the ocean.
You know that's what I was about to say. I think Vidar is very strong. I think it's
'Cause,
just a bad matchup
like,
for him.
yeah,
Because I don't know how much Vidar can actually use his physical strength in this fight if he's just getting pounded by
yeah,
waves,
like
you
God of
know?
War 3 Poseidon making those water horses come
Hmm.
out, just like drowns
Yeah,
him right there.
yeah. So yeah, Vidar, because it doesn't. Vidar would lose. I mean, because it doesn't matter how strong you are if there's
There's no way for you
millions
to
of.
be able to move.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Punch the water? Like,
You could try. Cut it with your
yeah,
sword.
I Poseidon, I think.
Oh, Poseidon. Okay, Thor and Chaos. It seems like a
Oh
very easy win for Chaos because of the whole "you don't exist anymore" thing.
yeah, it really is a shame that Thor's out in the first round though,
Yeah,
but
Thor do be
how
pretty fire.
that's just how it has to
He do
be.
be really strong.
Yeah. All right.
On to round two.
So yeah, round two, Hades
Oh,
and
this
Anubis.
one I
This
was kind of excited
one,
for this one. So we
they
have
are
the god of the underworld, who, if he gets Thanos snapped by Anubis, he'll just get back up again.
the underworld, yeah. But then there is Anubis himself, which I
So,
don't know how either one of these guys could die just at all. Because Anubis, he's the god of the dead. So, well, if Hades killed him, would Anubis be able to? Well, no, he wouldn't be able to resurrect himself because there's a different Egyptian god that's the god of rebirth and eternal life.
mm,
So Anubis, if Hades was able to kill Anubis, then
I
Anubis
think
would
it would
just be
take
dead.
Hades a while, but he could do
Yeah,
it.
the thing is that
He's very
Anubis
powerful.
could just infinitely say, Hades, you're dead, by the way. So,
Hmm. So it would be a
man,
stalemate, but like they're not going to die of old age until Hades succeeds or no one succeeds. Because how's Anubis going to tell the river Styx no?
but at the same time, like, would there be a way to ever be able to kill Hades if we're going by the same logic that we're going by right now? That if he dies, he can just resurrect.
Well, it would
Like,
have to be something to be able to destroy the way he resurrects.
mm,
So, like,
that
if
is true.
Chaos was like, "Hey, that River Styx
Uh,
thing, bad
if
idea."
I don't think Anubis would be able to destroy the underworld if he tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that Anubis would be able to go into the underworld. I mean, because Anubis isn't the god of the underworld, he's just the god of death. And death can die, presumably. But what I was saying, the reason Hades can resurrect is because the underworld exists. If you were able to destroy the underworld, then Hades couldn't resurrect. And I don't think Anubis could
Well, okay, this
destroy
says
the underworld
Anubis
because
did
Anubis
go
is.
away at one time and was
Hmm,
replaced by Osiris.
okay.
So, Anubis can die.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
what I was saying, I don't think Anubis would be able to destroy the underworld
No,
because
I don't
the
think so as
underworld,
well.
everything in the underworld is already dead. So Anubis would have no power in the underworld. So yeah, let's just give it to Hades and move on. We're taking so long on that one,
Okay,
but that was tough.
Among Us Ra
Ooh,
or
versus
Ta.
Ta.
I would
Jeez.
imagine the creators of universes are kind of strong, even against the other really powerful guy in charge of everyone.
Yeah, but it's so weird because Amun Ra had power over Ta, but Ta created everything. I think Ta would
Because if they're
win.
fighting to kill each other,
Mhm,
it's not like a leadership status. Because um, I get chaos is different. There's not nobody's
mhm.
in charge of chaos. But who the heck created Norse mythology? Who created
Don't
that?
think it says. I think it just
It
kind of
just
exists.
because there were
I
the
guess.
no, it was the two primordial giant things at the beginning, the fire
Oh
and ice
yeah,
one.
yeah. So it wasn't like one god that made the. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
they still killed their big guy too.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know if. Yeah, we gotta go Ta.
They're too strong. Okay,
Uh, okay, Heracles and
Heracles and
Kratos.
Kratos.
Dude.
Again, Kratos can just punch
Hmm.
a hole through him
Hmm.
if he was
Which
trying hard enough.
Heracles, like, in just Greek mythology, like, canonically he's physically the strongest, But Kratos has shown so many times how strong he is,
I
and I
know that
really hope
in
that
is it God of War
exceeds
2 or 3 that has
3. It's
Hercules? Is it actually
I
Hercules or is it Heracles in there?
yeah, they pronounce it Hercules. I want to say it's God of War 3,
They
but
have a lot in
anyway,
God of War 3.
because I think it was the God of War 3 was the one where Pandora was in it.
Mm,
Was that God of War
I
3?
think so.
Yeah, no, that was God of War 3 because Pandora was like in the room the first time that Kratos and Zeus fight in that game. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it is God of War 3. Yeah.
Yes. Because you open it and then you fight Zeus at the end, do you not?
Mm, yeah, I think Kratos.
Kratos would beat this guy. And this one's
Like
also
the
another very unfair matchup.
Kratos and
These are
Heracles
really
would be
bad
one.
matchups.
Yeah, Kratos and Heracles would be one of the few that would just be a pure like hand-to-hand combat, like a brawl.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Alright, so Poseidon and
Poseidon and
Chaos.
Chaos, like, what the heck is Poseidon gonna do against Chaos? These are some
Man,
terrible matchups.
I love my boy Poseidon.
He is so cool.
He might be one of, if not my favorite Greek god, but like man, he cannot come out on top against
He
Chaos.
cannot.
Like no, no. All right.
Well, here's
Ooh,
another
the
easy
semifinals.
battle.
The
Uh,
semifinals. We
Ta
have
versus Hades. The guy who can't die, and the guy who can say, "You have no place to die."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because the only reason Hades can resurrect himself is because the underworld exists. Well, Ta can just say, "What underworld? That doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about." Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, gotta
Hades.
go Ta.
Again,
Kratos and
Kratos and
Chaos.
Chaos. Of course, we
Yep.
come out with the two world creators here.
hmm
I'm sorry,
So,
Kratos.
ah, man, I don't know who would
We can't
win,
just end this
Ta,
on a
Ta
stalemate.
or Chaos, because this one is difficult.
Yeah.
Because the only distinction between the two, pretty much, is that Ta has a physical form. Chaos is just the nothingness that all else sprung from.
Well, I would think that'd be a little bit of a one up for Chaos.
That's what I'm thinking. Because, like, yeah, I mean, Ta is tied to a physical form, but Chaos is just like a being. She just exists. So,
I don't think Ta would be able to defeat Chaos because of that whole being in a physical form. Unless
and
Ta can exist outside of that physical form easily.
being that that is the only distinction really that we can find in their power
Yeah.
sets.
If only we like knew a bunch of stuff about these people.
hmm I think we need to go Chaos on this one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
hmm
Chaos is the winner
Yep,
of this
we
bracket.
got. Yep,
That's not very
the
surprising.
winner is Chaos.
It's not
Yep,
surprising.
I could have seen that one coming.
I like how the only thing that took down Kratos was the creator of his whole
Yeah,
world.
Kratos is so OP.
He is a little broken. Not Greek mythology Kratos. He's quite lame and didn't really do a whole lot. But Santa Monica Studio Kratos is a blessing.
Didn't Santa Monica make the first three as well? Who made the first three?
That's no, that's not what I mean. I mean like actual Greek mythology Kratos, the guy who
Oh
is named
yeah,
Kratos.
okay, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, that's the tournament and that's the draft. If you're watching on YouTube, we have an audio-only version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. If you're listening to the podcast version, hey, we're also on YouTube, where we'll hopefully be making different types of content in the future, and anything that can be classified as internet content is something that we could potentially do someday.
Oh yeah, we'd like to
But
do all kinds of things.
oh yeah, but we would want to stream, we would want to play games.
Dude,
I
travel
want to make
content would be
some
so fun.
it would going on a road trip and doing different things. I want to make different styles of videos if we get more of a following and I have an excuse to put money towards this whole thing,
Yeah.
and I get, a better camera. The first video that I want to make is, kind of a Drew Gooden, Ted Nivison style,
Bed Tivison.
reaction video of the little MS Paint
Okay.
Billy Bob
I
series that I made when I was a little kid.
I would have
I
to
feel
be there
like
for
that
that. I
would
don't
be
think I've ever seen those.
I feel like that would be wonderful content.
I
And
want to
they
talk about
because
cryptids.
because I literally have the DVDs burned and in cases, and I, like, drew, like, little cases for them and everything, like, paper to go into the slip on the front and whatever, and, um, I already put them in a disk drive and, plugged it up to my computer, and I recorded them, so I have them all digitally too.
Nice.
So, just whenever that day comes, that hopefully will be the first video that I do, so that can only happen if you support us, and you can do that in any way you want, whether that's liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, whatever you wanna do, we appreciate it. Or don't do anything, we appreciate you
Yeah, just
just
being
for
here.
listening. Yeah, we appreciate you just for listening this far into the episode. Um, if you are so inclined, you can send in episode ideas or topics or potentially questions for us to answer in future episodes. We would love to do mailbag episodes if enough people send in questions at InternetContentPod@gmail.com. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at IC with the Boys. Hopefully, we might post something soon.
Someday.
Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again next episode.